On London Stansted Airport based in Stansted, Essex. I'll be getting the views of London Stansted Airport from local residents at the end of the video. London Stansted Airport is an international airport based in the heart of Stansted. As of 2013, it had approximately 17.5 million passengers, and it is currently the third busiest airport in London, the fourth in the UK. Yet within the past year, it had welcomed an extra million passengers. As MAG suggests, in March 2015, passenger numbers went up 24% to 1.67 million. It operates 12 different airlines. It operated 131,365 flights in March 2013, flying to over 150 destinations, serving 30 countries. It currently has one runway and a total retail space of nearly 11,000 square metres and over 25,000 car parking spaces. It has also attained an award for the past 5 years in a row for World's Best Airport Awards, and also is still the fastest growing London airport for tourists, inbound, outbound and domestic. Come on, don't video me. Stansted Airport isn't so much a place for cultural tourism as TM6011 would describe. That cultural tourism is sometimes used to refer to people visiting or participating in living cultures, and as he goes on to further suggest that other scholars have suggested that cultural tourism is more about observing built heritage. However, it is a place where thousands of tourists go to every day for various different reasons. It's a place where some may feel nostalgic because they are travelling back home, inbound and outbound and domestic, like a sense of warmth, nostalgia, as Timothy and Boyd 2013 elaborate on, suggests that it can evoke bittersweet yearnings within entire societies, and Baker and Kennedy 1994 suggest it offers emotions shared by people of a similar background. A contested place or landscape is the representation of a space, meaningful landforms, and the place associated with memories of human events tied to spaces, often as a contested meaning. London Stansted Airport can be contested in a sense because it can be an image associated with perceptions of landscape, which is contested by thousands of people a day. As I said before, tourists travel through the airport for many different reasons, so enjoy their experience. Some enjoy their experience, some hate their experience. For some it's the first time, and others it's very so much a regular occurrence. Some tourists may be travelling through the airport to go on holiday, some to go home for positive reasons or negative. There is lots of different views and opinions regarding using this airport. A massive issue the airport come across was BAA wanting to expand the use of the runway, because in 2006 planning permission was turned down to expand Stansted Airport operations on the existing single runway. Yet later on, BAA announced that government and regulators agreed that new runway capacity is required in the southeast of England to relieve passenger pressure on airports and to provide better service to passengers and airlines. And then in 2008, BAA announced they applied to build a second runway for London Stansted Airport, yet locals severely contested against the need for a second runway, says the BBC. Despite the funding Stansted Airport puts back into its local communities and lots of promises made, the spokesman for BAA said while the CAA is supporting the cost of the second runway planning application, we are disappointed that a significant element of our spend to date has been disallowed. Township tourism, as Richards G 2007 would name, Township tourism, as Richards G 2007 would name, can come across as a mixed blessing, as some residents see it as an intuition, while others see it beneficial. Then on the 24th of May 2010, Stansted Airport announced that it was withdrawing its application to build a second runway, and the airport, due to formation of a new government and new aviation policy, BAA announced they were selling the Stansted Airport in August 2012, which was bought by MAG February 2013. As a means of giving back to the community, one of Stansted Airport's charity, Stansted Community Trust Fund, makes numerous donations throughout the year to various trusts like primary schools, young homeless people, the Children's Hospice and many more charities and community trusts over the years. History of London Stansted Airport. London Stansted Airport dates back decades and was built in 1942 by the USAF, United States of American Air Force, not as an airport for inbound, outbound and domestic tourists. The British wartime government and American military officials came to an agreement and decided to build this base on a highland close to the village of Stansted Mount Fidget. The 1st American Aviation Engineering Battalion, whose role was to convert the typical English greenfields into a huge military airfield, arrived at Renfrew Farm in August 1942, which was owned by a Jewish community from the East End. By December 1943, another engineering battalion had built the airfield road, clock tower, fire station and motor transport section, as it became the largest 9th USAF base in East Anglia, covering 3,000 acres. It had one main runway and 2 minor runways, with approximately 100 USAF units based at Stansted. By early 1946, there was no more flying at Stansted, yet by December, LAMS, London Aero Motor Services, came to Stansted and then operated 6 brand new aircraft for civilian use. Thursday, the 5th of June 1947 was the date that Stansted officially opened as a civilian airport, flying passengers and cargo around the world. Up to 1954, most of the aviation traders worked at Stansted. BAA, British Airports Authority, took control of the airport in 1966 from the Ministry of Aviation. Almost 50 years later, the military airfield was turned into London's 3rd international airport, and back then it was actually one of the world's most state-of-the-art terminal buildings. The runway currently nearly double the length of the airfield runway. The airport was built in 1991 to handle comfortably 8 million passengers a year, as it took care into not affecting the local environment, landscape and country's sides. Back then, when USAF were based there, the closest form of public transport was trains into Bishop Stortford, which is situated 4.5 miles from Stansted. In 1991, Stansted Airport then built a railway link called the Stansted SkyTrain Rail Link. However, since Stansted Airport has been developed over the past 20 odd years, it is now transport links with its own train station that only takes somewhat 45 minutes to get to central London, and a number of organisations offering coach and bus services into London and surrounding areas. In October 2008, London Stansted Airport was granted permission from the government to proceed with the expansion of the airport, to which it has recently opened to passengers on the 27th of April 2015. Stansted Airport has spent £80 million on building more facilities for all kinds of tourists. It has expanded by 70% into the departure lounge, offering 60% of more seating, also offering hundreds of jobs opportunities for locals. MOD. This is a form of ecotourism, as Fennell D 2008. This is some of the natural environment and landscape surrounding London Stansted Airport. Therefore, if they were to proceed and build this second runway, then they'd have to demolish all of its natural environment surrounding the airport. And as O'Riordan's 1981 hierarchy suggests, that concern for the natural environment only really occurs after economic development has been achieved, such as employment creation and regional development. Therefore, the consequences of these changes and benefits this airport can bring after its development, yet over time, these changes could really have an effect on the local community and the airport itself. That's why each year the airport offers something back to the community and attempts to keep sustainability at a high. Each year the airport is achieving satisfaction for the noise control of the airplanes for the residents. If BAA had got the planning permission to build the second runway earlier on, then it would secure the tourism industry, yet it wouldn't so much benefit the conservation of natural and cultural resources highlighted by Holden 2008, because it would help generate tourism by offering more space for the thousands of tourists to travel to and from, yet it would mean total destruction of the natural environment and potential infrastructure such as roads, houses and pubs, etc., which would have caused uproar between the local community, as you see in the video that I've got of the man who works in the local pub. Yet being green and recycling over 60 tonnes of waste has been diverted from the landfill in the past 3 months. Stansted Airport's latest recycling initiative that's keeping the airport on track to achieve a target of zero waste to landfill by 2015 and 66% reduction in carbon footprint since MAG took ownership of the airport. It's their way of being green, with their aim to progress as an international airport whilst keeping the local community healthy, clean and content. Last year, Stansted Airport asked locals to provide them with their opinion and ideas based on the draft Sustainable Development Plan of how the airport will make use of the existing capacity of its single runway, because they are seeking to obtain responsible and sustainable growth at Stansted Airport, because as WCED state in their report, the need for development to occur in such a way that the productivity can be sustained over a long term for future generations. This is because sustainability is key for the airport, and as Hall 2008 states, the function of that community as a whole may be unsustainable because of the tourism operation. Therefore, asking the locals to get involved in their projects is a means of involving them and understanding their wants and needs. MAG states, our vision is to grow Stansted to better serve the region, which includes attracting a more varied choice of airlines and destinations, creating 10,000 new jobs and providing business from across the region with improved access to the new markets and trade opportunities, all within our current air quality and noise limits and without requiring any additional land. What do you think of the proposal of the second runway at Stansted Airport?
I think it's bad news for a lot of the villages and the houses around the area, meaning that most of the houses in the area will be knocked down, the shops in the area will be taken, an old pub which has been here since the 14th century will probably be moved somewhere else. Also, other villages around the surrounding areas, there's quite a few villages around here that would be affected by it. So, Elsenham, Molehill Green, Dooton Hill, quite a few villages in the area which will be taken. Don't know what else to say.